Don't y'all remember when we used to get lit?
Dance with my dogs in the nighttime.
What's good, you guys? NWA Nurse Pat. So I really hope you guys watch part 1 of this video. If not, go ahead and do so. It's important to watch that part first and then this one because it really ties it in at the end. So go ahead and watch that there. I'm gonna put a little link, little clicky thing at the top, and let's get to the second part of the video. The fourth thing that a lot of people don't really talk about with early retirement is health insurance and life insurance. Health insurance is incredibly important in the later years of your life. Most of us not exactly are going to be as healthy as we are in our youth. The amount that people have to pay when they visit a hospital, visit a doctor's office, pay for medications, ride ambulances, etc., is astronomical. Someone told me like just for an ambulance ride, it's like $1,000. That's an expensive ass Uber. Over time, a lot of us are going to have a bunch of comorbidities that would predispose us to getting more sick or going to the hospital. It's unfortunate, but that's just part of life when you get older. Now, some hospitals, if you're lucky, will offer lifetime health insurance if you've been working with them for over a good amount of years, like say 10 to 15 years. Unfortunately, mine does not. An older per diem worker at my hospital, if you guys didn't know, per diem people, they typically will earn more on their wage, but they do not get any benefits whatsoever. They typically barely work at all in that position. A lot of times they have another hospital, but this guy specifically, he only works per diem, so he does not have health benefits. But that doesn't mean you can't have it at all. He told me that he is paying out of pocket for health insurance, which to be honest is the move. He is paying $1,000 for both him and his wife, so you know it's 2 people per month. So if you think about it, it's not too bad. This guy is pretty old. I could tell he has a lot of comorbidities. You know, he's a little bit on the fluffy side.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick.
I'd be seeing him huffing and puffing, you know, during the shift. And
How do I breathe?
I'm like, bro, you gotta be my ER patient next. Sorry. Anyways, good guy, great nurse. Anyways, $1,000 a month. With all that money you got set aside, all that cash flow, all that monthly income, that's not a big deal at all. But you have to consider it. You have to consider all your main expenses: your house, your car, health insurance, etc. Right? All those necessities you're gonna have to consider down the line. Now, some people might have different opinions about life insurance, but I personally think it's important because, you know, ideally when the inevitable happens.
Man, I'm dead.
You know, you want to set your family up for not having any financial hardship. You want to make sure that they're going to be fine. And that's just my opinion. You know, it's not money that's going to really benefit you in your retirement. But if you think about your family, your future family, then I think it's important. Touchy subject, sorry. But yeah. Now, most hospitals will give you life insurance benefits, blah, blah, blah. And you just pay like a small amount per paycheck. But with mine, it only gives you that life insurance while you're working. Therefore, when you retire, you're not going to have that.
That's not good enough.
So I am taking matters into my own hands and going third party with whole life insurance. Since I started it while young, not paying a whole lot, in my opinion, not paying a whole lot, and I'm going to explain this some more in a sec. I'm paying less than $600 a month. And that's going to be over the course of 25 years. Once you pass that 25 years, you have life insurance like for life. And this is like $1 million policy. That $600 is not like you lose it. It goes into like a cash account that gains money over time. Just a really slow, small amount, honestly. It's just probably enough to keep up with inflation. But you're not going to lose that money, basically, and that's what's important. You're pretty much using it as a savings account. At the end of the 25-year term, you could withdraw that money. And the projections they had going on with paying less than $600 a month for 25 years, that cash account value should be around $250K. So I could just withdraw all of that if I want to at 50, in which I will, because I could use that as my income, use it elsewhere, whatever I want to do with it. Most likely I'll put it into stocks again and let it grow. But yeah, it's hard to really put a number into how much money per month I'm going to be getting when retiring, but it should be more than enough. Even if that money is like stagnant and does not move, stays at at zero increase or decrease at age 50, it's more than enough. Now, another thing I'm not really talking about is Social Security. In the US, people who retire, they get Social Security checks per month. But I'm not factoring that into my retirement because I don't want to like overly rely on that. I want to put matters into my own hands. That'll be extra money that'll help me out in the future. But I don't want to rely on that. And neither should you. It's usually not enough. Even if that money was stagnant and didn't do anything at the age of 50, that's still like 4.1 mil that I could use incrementally throughout my life per month, and especially if my house eventually gets paid off, I'm not gonna have to worry about large payments. So way more than enough money than I need per month, in my opinion, adjusted for inflation in the future. Who knows what things are gonna cost. Who knows how much a Big Mac's gonna cost, Dollar store is already $1.25, it got me fucked up.
You acting like a real McAsshole.
Cheeseburger.
But anyways, that is my plan, and it's it's totally doable. Like the lifestyle that I live, it's not a super lavish one, but I have everything I need. I'm happy. I have everything I need. I socialize a lot. I feel like I travel a decent amount, and like I have a lot of days off. I feel like I have a life. I don't have to be a hermit and be a super duper money pincher. I'm able to think smartly about my purchases. I always buy things on sale. I try my best not to buy anything that's unnecessary, especially with bigger purchases. I like to think to myself, if I buy this, how is it exactly benefiting my life? Like, what value does it bring to my life? And if it's like not that great, or I could live without it, then I don't need to buy it. I'm not a materialistic person. Some people might think I look like I am, but I just buy things on sale, and I just get good value out of things. But yeah, I think that's a good way to put about spending, is if you budget correctly, then you should be able to not only contribute to your retirement account, but you should be able to save a lot, put that money to work with your investments, you can buy property. With all the stuff I got going on, my monthly expenses is a fraction of what I am making net from my job. So I could really put that money to work. The more you could make your absolute monthly expenses a smaller fraction of what you actually take home, the better. Okay, let's put the numbers together for age 50 just to make things simple. 403b retirement account plus individualized portfolio plus pension plus life insurance cash value. That's roughly 4.1 mil at 50 years old. Of course, there's going to be taxes involved, but it's not like it's going to be like huge amounts because those are long-term capital gains. For the 403b, I'm not going to touch that for another 15 years, and that gets taxed at your income bracket, right? Real estate income is a little bit complex. There's tax deductions that you can make, so the rental income you do make is tax advantage, and some people even say that you're not really taxed on it at all. But even with just a couple rentals, that's a few $100 per month, ideally, if they're cash flowing properties. And then once those rentals are paid off, then that's just a huge chunk of money per month that you're getting off of rental properties. And you could either keep renting them forever, in which that's what I plan to do, or eventually you just sell it at a higher price than what you paid, or pass it off to your kids. So that's what I plan to do. I think that real estate will really be beneficial, but in a different way. Calculations are different, but I like that diversification aspect in retirement. Multiple sources of income. Well, yeah, that's what I got to say. I know it's a long video, I'm sorry, but there really is a lot to say. What do you guys think, though? How much do you feel would be enough to retire early? How much money, how much assets do you feel like you need in order to live the life you want to live in retirement. I live a simple life, but I also want to travel. So I feel like I'm able to do so still with all that money and income that I'm generating still throughout retirement. Now, I know a lot of people rather spend money and live their life when they're young, you know, YOLO, whatever, but it's something you should think about in the future, in my opinion, just because retirement is important. And like I said earlier, to be honest, I'm pretty happy with the life that I live and the way I spend, so I have no problem with things and the projections I got going on and trajectory that I have on myself, how things are going so far, with, you know, working 4 years as a nurse. You know, I think it's working well. I think I'm going in the right direction, so happy with that. Anyways, I hope you guys learned something from this video. We're not taught about financial literacy in school, in college, especially if you're in, you know, the nursing field or health field. That's not something you talk about at all. I had to learn these things myself, so I think it's important that I share this with you. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns below. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, stay safe, stay humble. I'm out.